Oh, where's the livest table here tonight? Oh, man. Clap for us. Clap for us. And clap for a poet with us right now. Clap for us. Clap for us. Clap for us. Clap for us. Clap for a poet with us right now. Clap for a poet with us right now. Clap for us. This we've been waiting on.
Now, you have been my homegirl since the beginning of the night. So I'm going to take your word for it. Now listen, since I'm going to spit something, and this is not technically me spitting yet, but I'm going to spit. Y'all know what I'm saying? I'm going to give y'all one of the rules of the open mic set. We have a simple rule called respect the mic. And instead of me going on and on and on, I'm just going to do this poem, and then you'll understand what respect the mic means. Is that all right? Now, I want you to know if you're in this area right here, you're in the BET area. Remember on BET when the show was going on and the people on stage looked extra involved? That's where you guys are sitting. So if the cameraman spans to the right or left, there should be someone intensely looking. All right? All right, she looked like I'm finna move, bitch. I did not go for this. Listen, now we're gonna laugh, we're gonna have a good time, but one thing we're gonna do is respect the mic. Echo through the open mic venue as the poet on stage engaged in decent exposure. He was flashing portions of his once tortured soul in hopes of loosening life's noose off the listeners. Said that God had whispered a word of warning this morning that this very nation was wicked. Unless there was a biblical type turning, there would be more mourning. He said the devastation of the Twin Towers falling would seem small, like babies' breaths. And how tsunami waves, and not just in the floor of the room, the fragrance of oneness started to escape. It started to feel like a good church service in that place. Except for this one heifer who kept talking in front of me. Even though I was squinting, I still couldn't hear. So I kind of, I cleared my throat in hopes that this sister would get a clue, but she was full of attitude, probably working on her third cranberry in absolute. She proceeded to rub on the chest of the dude she was talking to like, anyway, boo, ooh. Now, I know this whole damn open mic venue couldn't have seen this isolated incident, so how is it that they instigating thanks, but I don't need no help? I ain't got no problem with getting projectish. I got an invisible tattoo written in bold script across the strongest muscle in my chest, and it reads, a bitch will cause ruckus. But actually, I had missed something imperative spoken by the poet. So woosah. My anger, I'm learning to control it. So I talked to myself, told it, self, cool it. She ain't even on your altitude, but I can't deny I want to knock her ass latitude. It'd be like, excuse me, miss, but you are starting to interrupt my evening. See, I don't do open mic for sheer entertainment. Honey, I do this as a form of pain management. Honey, I'm just 2 or 3 small paces away from the edge, so baby girl, it would be in the both of our best interests that you just simmer down. Let's keep this thing even that'll prevent me from lying about my whereabouts yesterday evening between 6 and 10 p.m. I was at my mama's house. See, life has been hard. You may not see them, but there are hundreds of hairline fractures. Child, don't let this big pretty smile distract you. I am unstable. And the message you interrupting just might be the matchbook that slides under the car, the wobbly card table of my sanity. So miss or mister, there has to be somewhere else for your ass to talk. Be it the bathroom or perhaps your car. But please, respect the mic. Yeah. So everybody get what that rule mean, right? And listen, it is not easy to come up here and to share your heart in most cases with the world. See, some people come up here, they do a little love poem or they do a little freak poem or whatever. Most times they're sharing a part of themselves with you, and that ain't always easy. Because some of y'all like be looking like, and this is your happy face. And so they got to get up here and they got to get over all of that, plus the nerves they got going on the inside. It'd be a lot going on. So you can help a person with a small smile. Like if your teeth all fucked up, smile, but your lips together. Smile. Or, you know what I'm saying? Don't be distracted. You got 4 teeth like this. Don't you smile big. You smile medium. But you know what I'm saying. Y'all ready to have a good time tonight? And if you got bad teeth, I didn't see you. I'm just talking shit, so please don't be like, that bitch was talking about my teeth. I can't believe that bitch was talking all about my mind. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no shade. I think it's time to call up some male energy. Can we bring some male energy to the stage? Ladies, if they get on your last nerve, but you love a man, make some noise. Fellas, if you glad to be a man, make some noise. That's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Carrie. Yeah, keep clapping till they get here. Boom, boom. Come on, clap like you mean it. Come on, clap like you mean it.
Thank you, y'all. Yeah, that was nice. That kind of felt good. I didn't know what I was gonna do tonight, but I might as well just break it open. Kind of tell y'all a little, bust it open. Hey, y'all, I'm sorry. I just want to let y'all know. I'm sorry. I used to have PTSD from situations that messed me over. Barely sober to rarely lit. Now I spit when I'm thirsty and I bury myself in my work. See, only the fruit of my labor helped me cater to my own needs. I keep my mind off these phonies. I pray on my own knees, and even they get weak sometimes. But no matter what I've been through, I still make it to the venue to support the things that I'm into and show love to people I'm not even kin to. Increase my wealth of knowledge from the kicked out of high school to the finish with college, and I'm still healing. See, now I have control of my dealings, and the things I used to love so much aren't so appealing, but I'd rather stay friendless than in a mess, caressed instead of finessed, impressed before undressed. I used to want a lot. Now I'm so much better with less because stress kills and I'm alive.
All right, dig that. Yeah. Photo op, sorry. Okay. We are delving into writing. And writing is a very powerful thing. A lot of times I do workshops, I get a chance to go to schools, and one of the first things they ask me is, you know, how old were you when you started writing and why did you start writing? And I often tell them, I started writing so my head wouldn't pop off. Oh, it's real. I was gonna have a felony or some charges. I was gonna kick a whole bunch of people's ass and bite my daddy. I'm telling you, it was gonna be a mess. So I started writing to relieve some of that stress and that pressure, and it ended up being one of the things that have changed and saved my life. And so I always encourage people, even if you're not writing to share it with nobody, sometimes you just need to write it to get it off you. Writing has been used over the years from people like Nina Simone that talks about our social injustices and the different things that are going on in our lives. And so we are going to start having an iconic tribute to phenomenal writers that are in our lives. How about that? You know, somebody yell out our artists that they're Tupac. Shouts out to. Yes, girl. A lot of people do not understand how cool this man really was. Shouts out to Tupac Shakur, gone but not forgotten. Absolutely. Somebody else, give me a name of an iconic writer. Say it again. Maya Angelou. So everybody knows something of Maya's, right? Yes, you know what I'm saying? So those are the type of people that we will be highlighting. And so at this time, it is my pleasure to bring my little thick friend to the stage. Please show some love for Miss Nyoka. I love her. She little thick. That's my girl. I tell you it is.
Hello, everyone.
Hold on, I'm happy to turn the throat up. There you go. And you know what? How about I just take a moment and introduce my brother, my friend, the director, host. We do all kinds of stuff around here. Some of you know him, some of you don't, but you're gonna know and love him after a while. Please make some noise for Prince A-Tone. Bishop. And I'm out.
Make some noise for yourself one time. Anybody else excited about 2018? You glad 2017 is over? Who's gonna be focused on getting more money in 2018? Yeah, same here. But anybody getting closer to God in 2018? Yeah. Anybody paying off some debt in 2018? And anybody kicking kids in their throat in 2018? Well, I'm glad about 2018. I think this is going to be a really great year for myself, a great year for the Tour Nation, and that's why we went ahead and changed the theme of what we had going on here. Pickup Lines Poetry Night was a great event. I think it was because it was so themed around love and all kind of love, romance love, agape love, all that love. But this year, as Spitfire Shine was just telling you all, we want to focus more so on the craft. We want to focus on our community. We want to focus on our culture. Just like some of the names you just mentioned, there have been great people to come through who look like us, who have come and did great poems and great songs and, creative expression. And we would like to see that, kind of thing advance here in the city of Milwaukee, because it can be so economically empowering. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. One more time for yourselves before we move on here. If you agree with me and you can say this is a beautiful queen standing up here, let me hear y'all make some noise. See, that's what I'm talking about. All right, she got some family in the building. So again, this is Nyoka, and this month we wanted to focus on Nikki Giovanni, to do a little bit of research and Nikki Giovanni. Y'all can make some noise for Nikki Giovanni, So Nyoka is going to read a poem by Nikki Giovanni entitled Woman. She's going to read it and she's going to give y'all some of her thoughts that she had written down in regards to the poem.
She spun herself into a web, and looking for a place to rest, she turned to him, but he stood straight, declining to be her corner. She tried to be a book, but he wouldn't read. She turned herself into a bulb, but he wouldn't let her glow. She decided to become a woman, and though he still refused to be a man, she decided that it was still all right.
Nikki was going through some stuff.
So not a poem, but a few thoughts of where her poem took my mind. The strength of a woman comes from the inside. We're powerful, we're mighty. We have the courage to put our abilities just a level underneath its capability, just to display the strength of the love we have for a man. My muscle may be bigger than his, but if he be my king, the world will never know, because my pride is not too big. Us women can see the God in our men. Women, I've seen strong, wise women, willing to bear the burdens when their he isn't able, and did it boldly. Women can also see the danger signs, the warning labels on the kryptonite that we lay with every night. Trying to capture the love of a man will make us do some foolish things. We can become so weak that when he wants to leave, we'll still say, I'll plow the fields, I'll plant the seeds, I'll pluck the chickens, I'll feed the cattle, I'll take the load off of you and do whatever it takes to keep you here with me. We'll display our love, whether it's gently handing it over to his hands or forcing it on his lap, letting him know he is who we've chosen to give our love to. You expect him to know that it is precious, a jewel, yet he only sees a pretty, regular stone. We'll even take it back, only to polish it and showing him that it shines. We'll hold it up to the sunlight so he can see how it shines, with hopes that he admire it, to find ourselves only being the one looking up and smiling at it. A love we have for a man, the love that the man no longer wants, that the man no longer adores, the love a man no longer even cares for. If the love is strong, if the love is gone, no matter what the measures are, a woman will take with no shame or no blame. A woman could love, I could love every bone in your body, no matter what. If you choose to leave me, I will not be broken. I will not become incapacitated. I was born with the strength of 1,000 men. A woman's love should never be taken for granted, but because I am a woman, it will all still be all right.
So I guess that's all true, huh? A woman is that strong. Listen, if you love the poem by Nikki Giovanni, let me hear you make some noise. And if you can 100% stand by Nyoka's thoughts on Nikki Giovanni's poem, y'all can make some noise. Nikki Giovanni was born June 7th, 1943, and she was what many people recognize her as someone who defined the black voice, or the voice of the black arts movement. So I did just a little research on them, and I started to realize that they stand for a lot of the same things that the Tour Nation was standing for. This was a group who was very involved during the civil rights the time of the civil rights movement. They were seated in the nation, so they were a part of a lot of that work, and it was just another way of attacking some of the black issues right here in America, but putting great work on stage and writing great poems, even paint, all performance art and all creative expression. And she was one of the iconic people who gained the recognition for being one who had defined the voice. She had graduated from Fisk University back in 1967. And she did something that I thought was also very interesting. She went back, after she graduated, she went back to Cincinnati, Ohio, and she has started Cincinnati's first, and y'all can make some noise for this, she has started Cincinnati's first Black Arts Festival. Now for me, this makes her even more iconic because some of y'all might not remember this here in Milwaukee, but who remember a thing called African World Festival? African World Festival in the right hands and being governed by the right people would be something that could economically empower our community on a very massive level. I'm talking about it could affect things like the money that comes in could affect education. It can affect our crime rate. It can even affect our personal relationships. When we got more money in our community, people are a lot more happy. You know what I mean? So that means it would be less crime. You probably even saw some of the baby daddy and baby mama issues. I don't know. You know what I mean? But when people are happier, people are happier when there's more money in our community. So it means something to me to look back and see that she had started this festival. She had did something that was really great for her community. So I hope that the Tour Nation and the city of Milwaukee can continue in those types of footsteps where we can be iconic poets, but not just poets, but we can be iconic neighbors, focus on our community. Whether you do poetry, whether you sing, or whether you work in customer service at whatever company, that you allow that your efforts and your actions be something that is intended to make our community better. Please make some noise if you agree that Nikki Giovanni was an iconic individual. Thank you so much, Nyoka. Y'all can make some noise for Nyoka. Come on, she did an awesome job. So,
clap for us, and clap for a poet with us right now. This table still got to work on it, but they gonna get it, all right?
right, so now we're gonna call up a poet to the stage. Can somebody run me the poetry list real quick? And who's the livest audience, man? Or where's the livest table here tonight? Oh, man. It's kind of hard to tell. Hold on.
Calm down, ladies, please.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, let me see. It's the livest table somewhere over here. Okay. I ain't even come y'all way. Y'all just look like y'all chilling. It's the livest table somewhere over here. Oh man. It's the livest table somewhere back there. Okay, it looked like I gotta actually come out here to hear it because it's all coming one way. So if I stand in the middle, I can use my studio ears. One more time, it's the livest audience out here somewhere. Oh man. I don't know. Let's do this. I can tell y'all right now that the livest table was somewhere up here. I can definitely tell y'all that. So we're gonna try this table right here against that table right there, all right? If y'all the livest table, let me hear y'all make some noise. If y'all the livest table, let me hear y'all make some noise. Oh my God. What? oh, they won? Mario said they won. All right, so y'all make some noise for Doc Holliday is in the building tonight. One of the greatest DJs, studio producers, beat makers. So now, I need one of you ladies who are the livest person at this table to introduce our next poet. Can you do that for me? Oh, wait a minute. They pointing at each other. You the only one that didn't point. You sure you don't want to? Okay, let's go this way.
Introducing a few up. Please come to the stage.
Y'all can do better than that. Make some noise for a few free.
I know it's a little early, but this one's kind of flowing into Black History Month. Black is my color. So is my mother, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, and grandmother, because it's all in the family. Black is my color, and we are all free. Black is my color, not brown, blue, or white too. Black like the night, to tell me I'm right. The matters were all colorless of absence and absorption of light, but tell me I'm right, because black is my color. Or is it just me? Black is the color that defines me in all hues. Black is the color of my soul, and black is the color of my hair. It's the color of my skin, and marks you can't see because they are black. Blue, black, or white too. Red, purple, green, black, African American queen, meaning proud to be black as you can all see, because black is my color. As the old saying goes, what is in the darkness will come to light, and for every day there is a night. For all colors, shapes, and sizes, there will be black, where all creatures have a rise. But black is the color of Jesus' feet when he carried you from Africa's slave ship to plantation fields picking cotton under the sun all day. You were still black when you was lynched, killed, raped, and set on fire that made black smoke. Black is the smell of burning corpses when you were burnt up in flames. The smell that can make you throw up, but black is the color of a mother's womb, also the darkness in grave's tomb. From the darkness of the soil where we all came alive, to the 6 feet under grave where you close your eyes. That lets me know besides, that black is still my color. Or is it just me? Blue, black, red, purple, green, black, African American queen, meaning proud to be black as you can all see, because black is my color. Thank you.
Let's get this thing going. Please welcome to the stage none other than Deshaun Ewan.
Hello, everyone. How are you all this evening? You like my professional voice? I'm glad you do. Don't you hate mother? All right. Man, it's good to be here. I'm glad you guys are here. Give yourselves another round of applause. Man, what am I going to do for y'all tonight? Let's do this one. And then I might get a chance to come back up and give you something else. If I had time, I would probably take time to study every language ever written under the sun. Talking about past, present, and future dialects, study every aspect and facets of intellect to make sure that my words would be understood by all that ever heard them. You see, if I had time, I would take time to study the writings of every poet that ever wrote. Find out what their words would mean to me rather than what my English teachers in my classrooms told me that they should mean. See, if I had time, I would take time to slow down time. Give back time to all those whose time was cut too short. Help them be at some other place and at that wrong place at that right time where they died too soon. If I had time, I would take time to speed forward time, hasten my internal transformation, let my words reach their maturation so I could actually say I had the time to practice what I speak before it gets released. If I had time, I would take time to thank God for all my time, but sometimes I don't feel like I got that kind of time, so I'll take time just to bless your mind with spoken word and tell you I have no shape, form, or design. No rhyme, no reason, no beat, no pulse, no highs, no lows. I'm just a rattling of souls like windows during tornadoes. I'm amnesty for treason to my ancestors forgotten. I'm a father's love and a mother's wisdom. I'm the great-great-grandsong of poetic melody. I'm the wade in the water. See, I'm that wade in the water that was heard in slave cabins and fields in the blackness of night. I'm the ascension object of letter pointed north. I'm the crack of the whip, the shake of the chain, the pain that flows through the veins of nobility. I'm the shelter of tree trunks, hands gripping protection. I'm the heartbeat of a man lynched that never ceases beating. I'm the 33 LP of Nina Simone, the soul of Billie Holiday, strange fruit fermenting on vine. I'm the bend and dizzy's horn creating a legacy. I'm the shuffle of feet creating tap. I am the hue of the blues, fusion of rhythm, Ella scat of jazz, the inspiration of gospel. I'm the spinal cord of hip hop. I'm the wiping away of color lines, becoming the baddest, whitest, reddish, yellowest, brownest, colorless phenomenon. I'm the rewriting and the redefining of this Constitution until the word all actually means all. I'm the inhale and exhale of a child breathing yesterday through the mouths of tomorrow. Lighting fuses attached to these bombs that will explode now and through the course of time.
Y'all ready for some more poetry? Let me hear y'all make some noise. Let's call up, you ready? Please make some noise for Kerry Stevens.
I just want y'all to know, I know that you expect me to be impressive. See, I know a lot of you women expect the aggressive. I know you feel where I'm coming from when a bad boy ain't no good and a good boy ain't no fun. See, I know that when you're with a dude that ain't strapped up, y'all both are run. And I'm not just talking about condoms. See, I know that when you're with a plum nut, the clouds always block the sun. See, I know he doesn't want his dirt to come to light, so you can't guide him to it. All the while, when you're used to him, when the good dude stops at red lights, I guess you just want him to ride right through it. Oh, so much excitement, but I guess you're wondering where the pipe went. Down the other chick's throat, so by the time you get it, it's quite bent. Never sober. Touches get colder because his aim last night was Amy. See, you think his nonchalant swagger is slick is because he really doesn't care, and I guess you don't see it so plainly. See, good dude was trying to be just like him. He was tired of getting his manhood tested. See, his primary motivation was to be an awesome guy and not get arrested. See, he wanted to see you happy in real life. Maybe not molested. Trying to please your soul with his words and his body, not just smash super aggressive. Oh, you didn't know you'd come that much because you finally connected. No words in the backdrop of your mind because the alabaster box wasn't effective. See, when you turned in this assignment, God didn't reject it. You got with him for all the right reasons. A year later, you reflected. See, when everyone thought he was a weak-ass nigga, maybe he was turning those females down. He had the energy stored up to soothe your soul, and maybe go at least about 3 more rounds. See, not really intrigued by the way things look because maybe he was focused on the Lord. Maybe you thought he swung both ways because he didn't want to hop on board. See, even though I would, when I would do good, I know the evil is present with me. I know that everything that looks good isn't, so I know exactly what I don't want you to give me. See, that good dude isn't easily taken by every little gust of wind. You say you only attract these types of men, but check out the circles you function in. Weed, smoking hair, vodka in your breath, and you cuss like a sailor. Oh, you still in the hole in the wall when it's closed and surprised you caught a player. See, good dude, he just made it to the house. He was getting ready for the bed. He was getting ready for bed. You just made it to the other dude's house and he was thinking about some head. See, he was wondering if he could find a female that looks like you. Maybe with the sweetness of a virtuous woman that doesn't have to fight just to get next to. Maybe he's tired of waiting for you to get your act right and understand that he was always there. Maybe he doesn't feel like trailing behind you while you bop around everywhere. So maybe the next time you evaluate a man, maybe you should look to be impressed. Because from my experience, the men you love only get you hurt, pregnant, or just undressed.
One more time for Carrick Stevens, y'all. Do it. Clap for us, and clap for a poet with his writing ass. Look at y'all, man, we some quick learners up in here. Hey, and this table right here though. Hey, one more time, clap for him, clap for him, clap for this table right the fuck here. Like, all right. When is this world gonna change? A world with madness in the hearts that seems to remain. We as people need to realize the world can't see and stand out from people for a shame. They need to know about a love that will be right there to comfort you. And when your friends, they let you down, I know that this love will be right there. I know that this love will be right there. See, sometimes I feel like A-Tone Bishop, a man with a victorious story to tell. But when the crowd gets through clapping and there are no more hugs to give or hands to shake, and I've said all that I came to clap for a poet to say, at the end of the day, y'all, I just simply feel like Antonio. A young man whose last name brings power and destruction because of who my daddy was. And seeing how I could never be like my daddy was, my childhood years and my teenage years growing up was rough. But see, sometimes I feel like A-Tone Bishop, a man with a victorious story to tell. Sometimes I feel like A-Tone Bishop, a man who was destined to lead and oversee and defend the nation. But Lord, sometimes I just can't take it, and I begin to feel like Antonio. And Lord, sometimes I feel like Moses, the man who was chosen to lead the people to the promised land. And Lord, the people that follow me have seen a lot of your great works, but if only they knew your master plan, then maybe they would hear me and I wouldn't have to repeat myself. If only they knew your master plan, then maybe y'all would hear me and I wouldn't have to repeat myself. If only y'all knew God's master plan, then maybe y'all would hear me and I wouldn't have to repeat myself. But right now, God, I don't think that they're hearing me. And right now, God, I don't think that they feeling me. If only you knew the power and authority that God is instilling in me. Because see, sometimes I feel like Noah, a man who built a great ark. I've been sent here on earth to rebuild hearts, and sometimes it gets hard, and I begin to feel like Job, like the devil is trying to take a toll, came into Job's life and took his wife and took his kids and took his home. And I know I'm supposed to stand tall and be strong, but for the last month or so, I haven't been able to write a new poem. And God, you know that's the only thing that keeps me holding on. See, it's hard. It's hard, and I know I'm not supposed to talk like that. Because sometimes, though, I feel like Peter. And Jesus is just trying to see where my faith is at in the midst of the storm. And see, sometimes I feel like Paul. Because when I was doing my dirt, they used to call me Saul. Then God knocked me off of my high horse. He said, no, you can't live that life. So it was when I started to do what was right that he changed my name. See, I put that life to a rest. And I put that life to an end. But sometimes I feel like I still got to watch my back, and I still got to watch my friends. Because even they try to treat me like Daniel and try to throw me in the lion's den because I don't believe in the same things that they believe in. But when I first started doing poetry, I thought that I was just expressing myself. And then I met folks like Spitfire Shine and Carrick Stevens that showed me there was more. So I started to unlock the rest of myself. And then my poetry became my word. And my word is supposed to be my life. And this means if all of these don't coincide, then my ministry just won't be right. So they showed me. They showed me that when I sit down at the table, I can sit down at the table with great men and women, and I might not be able to bring a house with me or a great car with me or even a great job with me. But as long as my poetry remains my word, then I can bring some God with me. See, they showed me. They showed me that in spite of the things that I go through, I still got to write, because my words might be the words that save somebody's life. In spite of the things that I go through, I still got to write. I still got to fight, because one day somebody's life might be saved. It might be yours, and who hell, it could even be mine. So in spite of the things that I go through, I keep writing and I keep fighting. And it's not because I feel like David or Daniel. It's not because I feel like Moses. It's not because I feel like Peter or Paul, but simply because sometimes, y'all, I just feel like I'm chosen. Thank you. Please make a lot of noise for Mario.
A poem. The etymology of the word "and" records its Old English roots. The meaning thereupon next. Webster's dictionary lists as a variation of the word the definition consequence or result, but "and" in the case of the following wears its primary definition. Moreover, and I say that to say this. Aquaman is the lamest superhero in the Justice League of America.
And
Sex texting is stupid. Not just because there is nothing sexy about an acronym, but because it is really hard to masturbate and operate a touchscreen keypad.
And
if every woman you deal with is fucking crazy, you are probably equally insane.
And
Nicki Minaj does have a huge ass. This does not make her music viable nor appropriate for family reunions, high school proms, or after the poetry set.
And
conversate's not a word, stop using it.
And
even though Avengers made box office history, Star Wars Return of the Jedi is still the greatest, most awesomest movie ever made.
And
though nearly harmless in moderate doses, weed is a drug, which should be legal for responsible adults to partake of, but that hydroponic, sticky, aquamarine shit you are smoking scares me.
And
there is no reason a chick should be musty. Ever.
And
if I block you on Facebook and you call me to ask why, I'm gonna lie and pretend like I don't know what you're talking about. In addition, if every time you send me a chat message, I log off, get the fucking hint.
And
TMZ, World Star Hip Hop, and Media Takeout are not actual news sites. Referencing them during conversations makes me hate you.
And
if one more person says I talk good when I am speaking, I will no longer be speaking.
And
you put way too much sugar in your Kool-Aid.
And
Flaming Hots is not one of the four basic food groups. Eat a carrot or a plum sometimes.
And
read a book, not a magazine, not a postcard, not to back your identification card, a fucking book. It won't kill you. As a matter of fact, it might help you to stop using fixing to in sentences.
And
if I offer you some gum or an Altoid, take it. I'm trying to be nice.
And
Please believe me, deep in the sunrise of your mind rest the hopes and dreams that can save you. God has rooted you out a path, find it. Your purpose will illuminate your soul and give your heart wings to make these weary, worrisome days easier to bear. Death waits in the wings for its cue, so don't take today for granted. Be in the business of getting better, not just getting over. Practice more than just getting by. Miracles happen each and every day. You must find them. They aren't looking for you.
That's it. I gonna do quit playing after. That's funny poem after funny poem. You want me to do quit playing? Do quit playing? No, I'm not doing that. Okay, I want to do a poem probably. I'm gonna do a poem about social justice. So here we go. Release the safety. Pull the trigger, the pin strikes the primer, spits fire out the chamber. Light shows under street lights. Remember a time we used to fist fight, but them days over with. Killers, young brothers, already victims by design, now must fear fellow former field hands, convinced they took away their fathers from their sons, gave up on God and passed out guns. It's like they released the safety. Pull the trigger, the pin strikes the primer, spits fire out the chamber. Light shows under street lights. Crimson caskets, crew neck tees with painted faces erase an entire generation. Mothers losing sons like wrong directions. In our section's a trap. The real cage is in their minds. Been trained, prepared to die. No lie, 25 make you old school. These fools killing over iPhones and gym shoes. Playing the game like there's no rules, no school, so private prisons just growing like oak trees, filling with more fathers, so the cycle just continues. But statistical data shows more than these reality shows, and we losing. Being wealthy and healthy uncommon in these gutters. So much violence in these homes. Ain't no motherfucking jobs. He beats her, she beats the kids can't beat the odds, but we used to be in property. They cuffed us when we left the comforts of our native soil. Brought us here to these natives' soil, living the American scheme. Put a brother in the highest office, but fuck him and all that bullshit about a dream, because smiling faces don't change situations when you face to face with hard steel. Release the safety. Pull the trigger, the pin strikes the primer, spits fire out the chamber. Light shows under street lights. They selling us steel. We settling for less steel. Another brother with his eyes closed. Funeral's the only time we get together, taping teddy bears around fucking light poles behind the 8-ball. 4 rails out this living hell, but even the pool queue up for sale. Cold way they play this game they made up. Well, we turned up but wouldn't pick a book up. Disenfranchised, disengaged, despondent, despaired, and full of rage today. Release the safety. Pull the trigger, the pin strikes the primer, spits fire out the chamber. Light shows under street lights. Please make some noise for Shamika.
This poem is called 5 Cents. I thank God for my eyes, mouth, ears, hands, and nose. He supplied me, provided me, blessed me with not one but 5 senses to love you, adore you, please you, to have the ability, the privilege to see you smile. I know it sounds cliche, but it brightens my day and it takes me there, to that place where everything is good, sweet, perfect. I thank God for letting me witness heaven, a fallen descendant at my feet. All wars, battles, arguments surrender at your defeat. I thank God for my mouth, teeth, and tongue and jaws, my voice, so that I'm able to tell you how much I love you and how much you mean to me in countless ways. To taste the essence of your being, kiss you. Thank God for these hands, my skin, to be capable of touching and feeling you, so that if my words don't do it justice, I can show you how much you mean to me whenever we become one. Hug you tightly, trace your body entirely as if you were my stencil and I'm the pencil. to protect you. I thank God I can hear you, talk, laugh, giggle, breathe. To know that you're not just a figment of my imagination. I can see you and hear you clearly. Say words, scream, whispers, moans. I thank God for the ways he has blessed me to love you, adore you, please you. But most of all, I thank him for the ability to love you.
We have made it our business to ensure that we are working with businesses and working with entrepreneurs who have a community mindset. You know what I mean? They have a community agenda. They're not just in the business just to make a profit, but they actually want to see change and see things get better in our community, any way that they can give back. So our sponsors and entrepreneurs are also a part of something bigger, something major, and this was just an opportunity for them to kind of like introduce themselves to our audience and to our followers and supporters. All right. Now, a lot of times we spend our money all over the place, but I just think, I don't know about you, but I just think it's better for me to spend my money at a place or with people who actually want to give back to me, you know? Here's another thing. You know how people say, they be like, you know, buy black and stuff like that. Now, I almost agree with that. I don't want to just shop with you just because I'm black and you black. All right? I still want great customer service. And I know we hear stuff like that sometimes. I went to a store. I almost want to tell you where the store is at, but I'm not going to do that. But I went to a store. It was a convenience store. I just say it's somewhere on Villard. And when they opened up, I was proud of these brothers. I used to see them all the time. And I just be like, man, this is good. That's what's up, you know. And I was supporting, but it just seemed like I would come at 9 and they wouldn't be open. I would come at 10 and they wouldn't be open. You know, now already in my mind, I got my own idea why they not open. But so I just said, let me just ask this brother. I said, man, why y'all ain't never open when I come? Guess what his answer was? He said, nigga, I'm black. What you mean? If that ain't disrespectful to our culture. And I mean, literally, I came one time, and I know we're supposed to begin to these raffles, but I literally came one time, and they were walking out, and they would say, oh, we'll be back in 10 minutes. We finna go smoke a blunt. All right. No, I don't understand when I got something that I need right now. Y'all get my point. You know, I don't have no problem with you smoking weed. Just let me get my bag of chips and let me get my blunt. You know what I'm saying? My blunt wrapper. No, I'm just playing. I don't smoke. But y'all get the point. So I said, like, you know, we're making it our business to support people who aren't just giving us great services, but they're giving us professionalism and they're treating customers right. And on top of all of that, they want to actually give back to the community. They just need the right opportunity. They need the right plan. We all need the right plan. There's a lot of people with a lot of ideas, and most people just want to profit off of us. You know, but they don't want to give us what we really deserve. They don't want to give us the customer service they deserve. So the one individual who has been a great sponsor, who's been a great sponsor even when we were doing pickup lines and poetry night. His name is Jeffrey McAllister. He has a company called Fashion Sense. If you ever want to see his work, all you got to do is look at me every Tuesday that we here. You know. He'll put some stuff together for the men. He does stuff for women as well. Another one of our sponsors specifically for tonight is Machi's, which is a hair salon. Anybody heard of Machi's or seen Machi's work online? All right. Phenomenal hairstylist. She's been doing hair for years inside of different people's shops. She just opened up her own shop, right? Like I think it's like 60th and Good Hope around that area. And for about a year, she does amazing work. Check her out. Look her up on Facebook. It's Machi's, MACHIE''S. Also, another one of our sponsors for tonight is T.S. Connor, who is an author. She's a model. She is a writer. She's also a poet. What we are gifting them with is a book from T.S. Connor. She is a local author here. She also works with the Tour Nation. The name of her book is He's Mine. And if you like drama and reality TV and all that kind of stuff, this is a good read. It's definitely available, I believe, on Amazon and some other places as well. You can look her up on Facebook, Tanika Connor, and she'll be able to give you more information about how to get her books. She's actually coming out with more books as well. I'll make some noise for our winners. Yep, thank you. This is a introduction to the actual gift, all right? So this is the gift, right? This is the introduction gift, which is Kristen S. signature shampoo and signature conditioner, all right? So I'm assuming because it says signature that it's a really good shampoo and conditioner. Okay, but this is to tell you what your real gift is. Machi has offered to do your hair for you up to $50 in value. All right. So I meant to print up a coupon, but I'll make sure you get her information and address information and phone number and everything so that you can get that gift as well. All right? All right. All right. Y'all make some noise. So, y'all ready for some more poetry? Let me hear y'all make some noise. Let me do this. I want to call up this brother. This is somebody that, you know, he kind of incognito right now, so maybe by the time you get up here, y'all realize it's pretty one of our locally and somewhat nationally famous individuals right here from the city of Milwaukee. He is one of the organizers for the Facebook group, The Whole Milwaukee, and right, he is very not just vocal, but active. He's not just an advocate, he is a leader in our community. He works with the young men and will waste no time. We're talking to the young men and women in the community. He's going to the schools. He's out there lobbying for us. If anything happens in our city or even on a national level, whether it's police brutality, anything that negatively affects our community, Frank Nitti is usually a part of it and own it and trying to operate in our best interest. He's also an artist, a performing artist. He raps. He also does poetry. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage. Give a lot of love for one of our leaders and servants in Milwaukee, Frank Nitti.
We're like a broken elevator, black people. There's nothing wrong with us. It's the system that's designed for us to fail. It's not broken. It's actually working. It's designed for us to fail. So here we go. Just bear with me because I just reconstructed this. Okay. Last week I was trapped on an elevator. These people was pounding and begging like, please, somebody come and save us. Some people was panicking, it's been a couple hours, they ain't gonna save us. I'm watching them struggle, I think of our struggle, I'm wondering, can you blame them? This the mindset when we trapped in places they ain't never been trapped before. Just stuck on some islands with beautiful waters that's tropical. I see by your diamonds, them Cartier lenses is optical. You living a life that we only could dream if it's possible. How could we believe that it's possible when we stuck in this elevator? Start to see how the government regulate us while I'm watching these people and how they breaking this. The upper echelon educated from the moment of pressure they started changing. When we all under pressure, we all the same. It's how we deal with the pressure that separates us. How we turn all the pressure to motivation that we never make it. When you begging for help and there's no arrival. Old people change when it's for survival. They was fighting for food in a couple hours. Know somebody would kill for my cup of water. It's a different vision when you at the bottom, different thinking when you having different problems. You a different person built from your surroundings. When you trapped in them, ain't no way around it. Broken elevators, but we elevating. Hey, we moving up with no staircases to the top floor. How we still make it? It's a lot gone, but we still make it. Locked up, but we still make it. Still slaves, but we still make it. Do you worse to us? Say we still make it. My whole life I've been trapped in this elevator. My people been begging and praying like, please, somebody come and save us. Some people, they feel like it's been a couple hours, they ain't gonna save us. I think of our struggle, I'm wondering, can you blame them? This the mindset when we trapped in places they ain't never been trapped before. We come from an island with beautiful waters that's tropical. I see by your diamonds that Cartier lenses is optical. You living a life that we only could dream that is possible. The C23 is impossible. When we stuck in this elevator, start to see how the government regulate us while I'm watching my people and how they breaking. We the broken down and undereducated, still the most powerful and most creative. How we make it from nothing, we so creative. Can't believe in a system I know created. To oppress all my people, they thought it'd break us, but it motivate us when you begging for help and there's no arrival. Old people change when it's for survival. They like, yo, people die for a couple dollars. Man, my people could die if they drink the water. It's a different vision when you at the bottom, different thinking when you having different problems. You a different person built from your surroundings. If you trapped in them, ain't no way around it. Broken elevators, but we elevating. Hey, we moving up with no staircases to the top floor, but we still make it. It's a lot gone, but we still make it. Locked up, but we still make it. Still slaves, but we still make it. If you voted for Trump, then you still racist. Broken elevators, but we elevating. Give your mind to me, call it education for the soul feeding. Call it preservation, think it's about time like a reservation for a free mind. This is meditation, let me uplift like a levitation. Take you high, midway like a medication. If it's backwoods or it's Swisher papers, it's a cold world when you melanated. Cold world when it's segregated, got our households all separated, got our prison terms all escalated, got our school systems at the lowest rating, got our work jobs that's the lowest paying. You can rise from it if you elevate it, cause you rise from it if you never made it off this elevator. Thank you, y'all.
So, I'm gonna try to read this. I'm going to read this poem. It's not complete yet, but I give y'all what I got, all right? All right. I learned how to love a lot like I learned to do most shit. I taught myself how to ride a bike. Never learned to skate, but can rollerblade. And I know that's backwards, but yes, I'm still black. Thanks for checking. Some might say it's meant to be as easy as riding a bike. Well, if you knew how many times you were gonna fall and scrape your knee or bust your lip, you probably wouldn't do it. But I'd say that love is as risky as learning to swim, but without a coach. Or simply by yourself because you've convinced yourself that you could do any fucking thing, and why wait on a coach when you've seen plenty of people swim in movies? You got this shit. I was in the 6th grade, never swum before. I was only like 4'11", on the 8 feet deep side, sitting on the side of the water, and after sitting there at the side of the pool, I figured, let me just put my feet in. I'm not exactly sure why pushing off the side seemed like a great idea, but I do remember I almost died that day. I panicked and I screamed for help and gasped for air, and I waved my arms back and forth, and I said to myself, my mother is gonna be pissed, my little brother still needs me. And even though the lifeguard said I never actually went under the water, no one can change my mind. I almost fucking died that day. And I will never forgive anybody from my class for thinking that death was something to laugh at. I know how to swim now, though. And just like love, diving is still the scariest shit to me. But I still do it. I learned how to love a lot like I learned most shit. Alone, ambitiously, and eagerly. Thank you.